Hey everybody, this is Dust for Dusted on Gaming, starting out a semi-new series that's kind of a return back to the old school. So, those of you that follow Nikachu's channel on YouTube, he does Merfolk, Andrew Day2 Dryden does Burn, and then there's another gentleman or series of gentlemen that do Death and Taxes videos. We're going to be starting out something similar to that, see what the reception is for the decks we normally play on the channel. As always, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and leave some positive or negative feedback in the comments for things you like about the series, things you don't like about the series, gameplay specifically, sideboarding options, etc. Make sure they're constructive and useful. So, this is Gruul or Naya Burn that made the top 8 of the Modern Challenge this past weekend. We're featuring Skewer the Critics and Bomat Courier and Atarka's Command over the usual Boros suspects of Lightning Helix and Boros Charm. It was a unique way to fit in Skewer the Critics without really taking away like the core spells of like Lightning Bolt, Lava Spike, Searing Blaze, that kind of stuff. And it is 16 creatures, and Bomat Courier has haste as opposed to Wild Nikachu, which is a little bit more hits harder but takes a turn to warm up. So sideboard, you have 4 Destructive Revelry, 2 Grim Lava Mancer, 2 Searing Blood, 2 Firecraft, 2 Path to Exile, 3 Rest in Peace, and 1 Stomping Ground to enable all that with your fetch lands. Copperline Gorge is your mana base, or your fast land of choice in a mostly Gruul main deck. So, that said, let's hop into Episode 1, Match Number 1. So, what we're going to try to be doing is, every day I will be releasing a video, the next match in a league. We're starting out with Burn, but we're going to be doing things. We're going to be doing Burn, we're going to be doing Archlight Phoenix decks, we're going to be doing Miracles lists, we're going to be doing, basically stuff we've already covered on the channel, Death Shadow variants. We're going to start playing these matches in depth, etc. That way we get some type of regularity on the channel, as opposed to the streams, which kind of be a little bit helter-skelter. This hand's reasonable. No creature on the play kind of sucks, especially when we have 16 of them in the deck, but I still think we keep this hand. Lead off on Lava Spike here. So, thanks, mate. Lava Spike. This is not my list. This is by Archangelic76. So, Burn Mirror. Nope. Looks like Dredge. Dredge is going to be a rough one right off the bat. Could get that Eidolon out there. Well, at least they didn't hit at least they did not hit, whatchamacallit off this one? Chill. Creeping Chill. I was gonna say, hopefully we draw land here. This is actually kind of awkward. So I think we shock this in here. Go ahead, kill one of these idiots. Hope our opponent's slow Dredge catches up to them. And of course they had a Creeping Chill here, which is insanely annoying. We'll post to 4, and then they literally don't have to cast anything else, and we can only cast 1 spell. Seriously? Wow. Alright, Dredge doing Dredge things. all these awesome new burn cards, and then we still lose to the same old deck. Alright, so bring those in. Stirring Blood's a bit of a nombo with Rest in Peace, but I still think it's good enough in this situation. And then probably go down. Which cards are the worst in this spot? Eidolon's not the best for the most part. It just kind of plays counterintuitive to what you want to be doing in the matchup. And once Dredge gets past turn 2 or turn 3, they don't usually cast that many spells anyway. This game's okay. We don't have any of the hate cards, but we do have a relatively quick clock. Opponent's kept 7, which is unfortunate for us from a against the Dredge perspective. Opponent probably has Faithless Looting here, would be my guess. Suspend Rift Bolt and pass. Hopefully they won't hit Creeping Chill this turn. Of course they always hit Creeping Chill. God bless, I hate that card. And they have Cathartic Reunion here, which is kind of a... Bloodghast on top. Go ahead and cast that there. Hold up Atarka's command. Another Cathartic. Arcan Flag here. Zebedee Swift. Alright, so we at least managed to get this game. Opponents can't gain life. And, alright. Still definitely want the Rest in Pieces this game. Does anything change on the draw? Bowmite Courier might be a little worse on the draw, but I don't know that we want any of the other cards, so I think we just fire it up and see what happens. This is pretty obviously a mulligan here. So for those of you that don't know, obviously isn't the greatest hand in the world. Skewer the critics to the bottom. Burn has a rough time with Dredge, since Dredge got Creeping Chill into the mix. Alright, Shriekhorn, sure. This hand can potentially get there if we draw more lands and they don't hit Creeping Chills, but those are two very difficult scenarios in this matchup. Yep, life from, well, Nature's Claim and Bloodghast. Stinkweed Imp gives them another 5 looks at drawing cards. Yep, Creeping Chill. Faithless Looting, kind of annoying here. Gonna lose to probably having yield 1 lander. Plus the Dredge deck doing Dredge things. That's why in some of my more recent Boros lists I've been running multiple copies of Graveyard Hate. Like in the Rakdos list we ran Leyline and alright, so they're setting up for the Conflag kill next turn. Don't know if there's a card in our deck that gets us out of this from here. Yep. It was a pretty quick match. Like I said, the Dredge match went from a relatively good matchup to kind of a pretty terrible matchup overall because of specifically Creeping Chill. Used to be we could race their like not their best aggro draws just by the fact of, you know, burning them out or tempoing them out a little bit. But now that they have Creeping Chill basically being a free Lightning Helix every turn, every other turn, it's kind of hard to race that. It'd be like giving Jeskai free Lightning Helix or free Timely reinforcements every turn. You know, like an instant speed, you have to hold up a Skull Crack at all times. It's really kind of hard to win through that. But, I mean, Burn's still in a decent place in the meta, but that was definitely an example of one of the matchups where having a more traditional Burn sideboard as opposed to a slanted sideboard comes back to bite you a little bit in Modern. But, you know, Dredge is a deck that gets a little bit better with the banning of KCI. That was one of Dredge's tougher matchups. And it's one of Burn's tougher matchups in the format at this point. So, along with decks like Rock or, you know, Soul Sisters or, you know, decks of that ilk that are just boggles. Decks that went from, this is a deck that used to be probably slightly favorable for Burn, depending on how many Knot of the Bones they were running in the sideboard, to a matchup where it's gotten really, really rough because of Creeping Chill. So, alright, this has been Dust for Dustin on Gaming with match number 1 of episode 1 with Modern Burn.